what's behind the dispute over the Nile River? The cradle of multiple civilizations, the Nile has sustained life for thousands of years. But now, Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia are at odds over who controls the world's longest river. And when they get together to negotiate the terms of building a hydroelectric dam, this happens.
Now, still no deal between Egypt and Ethiopia over an enormous new dam that Ethiopia has built on the Blue Nile.
Despite tense talks over its future, with Sudan and Egypt having stalled this week.
Discussions between the countries broke down earlier this year.
Attempts to reach a final comprehensive deal have ended in deadlock.
So why is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam so controversial? Ethiopia has been building the $4.4 billion dam for the past 10 years, and once in use, it will be among the world's largest. It's expected to provide 65 million people with a clean source of electricity and turn Ethiopia into a major energy exporter. But making the dam operational will create a reservoir covering 75 billion cubic meters. And this has raised concerns. Egypt and Sudan say if Ethiopia unilaterally acts to fill the reservoir, it will endanger their water security. The Blue Nile is the major tributary to the Nile, which Sudan and Egypt rely heavily on as downstream countries. Ethiopia is an upstream country, controls over 85% of the water that flows their way. Egypt and Sudan say that Ethiopia should first reach a binding agreement on the dam's operation before any filling begins, but the issue remains deadlocked. Sudan says the dam threatens the lives of millions of its people and that Ethiopia's use of the dam without consent would be a national threat. Egypt argues the dam will cut its share of the Nile River, which provides 90% of its fresh water. Although Cairo says it's committed to negotiating a compromise, it usually adds the caveat that all options remain on the table, and that could mean
محدش يقدر يمس مية مصر. ده حياة أو موت لشعب.
Negotiations over the dam's operations have dragged on 4 years, with neighboring Sudan caught in the feud, and both Egypt and Ethiopia hinting at possible military action over the project.
But Ethiopia says it's not backing down from a project that could potentially pull millions out of poverty and make it a major power hub in East Africa.
The Ethiopian government says the hydroelectric dam is vital for the development of this immense landlocked country.
Ethiopia says the project is essential for its development. Addis Ababa has been vocal about its plan to start filling the reservoir.
The latest talks were held last month with African Union and European Union observers, but they failed to make headway again. And earlier this month, the Arab League released a statement fully backing their fellow members' rights to the Nile. Infuriating Addis Ababa. To make matters worse, Ethiopia and Sudan also recently saw armed clashes along the Al-Fashaga border region. In December last year, Sudan accused Ethiopian forces and militias of killing its troops in a cross-border attack. Both sides have since mobilized, accusing each other of pushing further into the contested area. The Nile, once a source of life, could now become a source for conflict. Ethiopia has consistently denied its dam will adversely affect countries downstream. But what worries Egypt and Sudan is the leverage that Ethiopia will hold. For them, the Nile isn't just a river anymore.